the project itself. What is the project? The project actually is an endeavor that have a specific start date and end date. Okay, why we are doing this? To have a unique product or result. The product can be tangible or intangible. Okay, why organization already attempt to have projects? Because projects are known to drive change. The change can be of financial impact on the organization. It can be of a market share impact. Different reasons for the project to be here. طيب. I'll give you example of a project. Like if a company that is developing or acquiring a new information system. This is an example of project. A company that is doing a restructuring, a change in the structure. This is also an example of a project. New line of cars, upgraded level of phones, construction of a tower or a building, a type of a new research, medical or pharmaceutical research. Those are different type of projects. Example for projects. And of course, when we have a terminology that the project is in or the project is closed, do you think the project is going to be end once or only if you deliver the value of the project? No, it can be closed for different reasons. It can be terminated due to the change of the strategy of the organization. And mostly this happens on big enterprise. You will not find this in small companies. It can be also stopped because the project is no longer exist, or the reason or the justification for having the project is vanished, like Corona, subhanallah. So projects drive changes. A project is aimed moving organization from one state to another state in order to achieve a specific objective. We will, so in any organization, what they put in mind that they have an objective to reach. How they will reach this objective? By initiating some type of projects. So as a result, what will happen? We will see that the organization status have been changed from a certain level to an upper level. The successful completion of a project results in organization moving to a futuristic achieving the specific objective. Of course, the project is going to end in the future. So whatever a result that you are going to achieve, it is in the future also. Here just an illustration of how is the current status of any company going to be changed in the future by applying the project activities or the project. We agreed that the project is going to be carried out by any organization to achieve a specific outcome or to a result. So the result, sometimes I prefer to say a value instead of saying a product, because the value, it can be intangible or tangible, but the product, it must be a tangible one. So guys, take in consideration that the project result, not always tangible elements. So whenever a project is completed, a value should be achieved. So what the type of those value? If it is tangible, it means that we will increase the monetary assets. It will be different utility. It might be a tools that the company acquired, a market share. So to eliminate any confusion, when we say utility, it might be the company is considered about expansion. So let us say that a standalone lab, they're opening different branches in several locations in the country. So as a result, the monetary action will not be achieved immediately. No, the monetary action will be achieved after many cycle of operations. So, but what they have currently in their hand is a new utility, a new asset, right? So when we were talking about tools, like installing an ERP system in a company, a certain company. So the installation of the new ERP system is a project. Once it is installed and it is ready for operation, then the project is closed. So what is the result? The company will have a new tool to use. So this is what they are trying to say here by having tangible elements. Intangible elements actually like the reputation, the recognition, let's say public benefit for by. Let's say that here, even in Saudi Arabia, if you aware of this, they encourage some certain type of industries, and they support those by even by some financial support, because they have a scarcity in this area. Like, for example, like the sorry. Just a second, guys. Okay. So because there is a public benefit from that, because there is a scarcity in this technology or in this area, they support it. So sometimes not only a financial aspect, it can be a benefit to the public. Strategic alignment, reputation. You can give different example from life. The initiation context, why we are doing the projects, sometimes to satisfy stakeholder request or need. The stakeholder can be a sponsor, an owner, or a client. Create, improve, or fix product, processes, or services. From time to time, especially in the factory, in the manufacturing domain, you find that they try to improve the process, especially in those categories. So the improvement process of the improvement of the processes is considered a project, and it have an impact in the end of the project. So that's why they started this process or this project. Implementing change to business, or implement or change business or technological strategies, like the emerging of Uber and Kareem in the beginning. Before, it was a change, they applied a change to the business of transportation. Meet regulatory, local or social requirements. Like in this area, you can see the tax abiding here in Saudi Arabia. It was new, and most of the companies initiated this as a project in their companies, or as they transferred the risk to transfer the project to an external supplier. Another thing also, you can think of the Saudization. The first time this word has been heard, every company needed to do a restructuring in their company. The restructuring actually is a project. Here, just they are trying to say why we are going to establish or start a project. Again, this is just another example. So again, under this main categories, you will find that it can be extracted to different factors, like market demand. This is why also, so the market demand actually is a client or public request, right? So it is under the satisfy stakeholder request or need. strategic business need, social need, environmental consideration, customer request, technological advancement, legal requirements. Those are different project source establishment or initiation. تمام. For any project, there is a project manager. So for the project to be managed by the project manager, there are certain elements like the knowledge, the skills, the tools, the techniques. The combination of all those factors is going to give us the project management requirements. Ahsan, can you tell me example of knowledge area? Okay. I see that everyone is here. Yasser, Julian. طيب. Okay, Ahsan, can you give me an example for knowledge area?
Sorry. Yeah, there are, I think, 12 knowledge area: scope management, quality management, resource management, integration
Exactly.
management,
Exactly.
and
So understanding the knowledge area is part of the project management. It's going to help you to manage the project properly. Okay. Can you give me an example of skills that the project manager and the team should have?
the skills, the interpersonal skills,
Exactly.
your leadership skills, um,
So
problem
so
solving skills,
problem
for the
solving.
conflict management. Yeah.
Okay, bear with me. And what about the tools?
Tools, we have different PIMS tools for communication, for our reporting, project
Exactly.
management, that one
Yeah.
which we have it.
Like
Uh,
emails, it's as well
yeah,
like
Econet,
the software
email,
that you're
SharePoint.
using for. Tamam.
Yes.
What about the technique?
Techniques are different. We have it for the estimation, for like analogous, parametric, three
Perfect.
points.
And simple
Yeah.
as interview, those are command techniques.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
data collection, yeah, those all the
Brainstorming,
type.
meeting. Am I?
Exactly. Yeah, you're right. You just nailed it. So the combination of those elements are going to be the tools for us to properly managing the projects. But why it is important to have a proper project management? The effective project management will help individuals, group, public, and private organization objectives to satisfy the stakeholder expectations, and of course, to be more predictable, increased chance of success, deliver the right product in the right time, resolve problem and issues, responding to risk in timely manners. And of course, here, this is, you can build on it, guys. From your experience, you can add to this more and more. Cost overrun, poor quality. What is the other, on the other hand, if you have a poor project management, what it will be the effect on the project? Then you will miss the deadlines, you will have cost overruns, you will have poor quality, and of course, if the quality is poor, then it means you have to do a rework for the work, and you will have an unsatisfied stakeholder. Eventually, we'll lose the uh, reputation of the organization. Another important thing that we are now, it's putting a lot of weight in our course, the risk course, is the relationship between the portfolio, the program, and the project. Adding to this in the risk, we are understanding how this is related to the enterprise. I want you to understand that project can be led as an individual project. That's why we call it project. So it should have a start, it should have an end. The project will be completed once the value is delivered, or if the project is cancelled. تمام? Why we are going to run a different project under one program? First of all, those projects need to be of a relation. They need to be of a relation. And why we are running them under one umbrella, which is the program, to obtain benefits and controls, which is not be obtainable from managing them individually. Talim, can you think of example of benefits that you will gain by running different projects under the program umbrella?
As you were explaining, that tangible and intangible both, improvement in the performance, getting some result if scope is done, monetary values.
Yeah.
Then again, if they are interconnected,
Yes.
then we will have multiple results. Some could be tangible, some intangible. Other than the monetary value, maybe the skill set of the resources can be
Exactly.
approved.
Yeah, exactly. So if you are trying to do a bidding process, having a bidding process over a massive amount will give you a cost benefit, right? You will have a more competitive price. Running different projects, it means that you have enough manpower. So if any employees that is missing in one organization, you can use him in another project, right? So these are type of benefits that you will get by dealing with the projects collaboratively under the program, and eventually having them all under one umbrella also will give you, as a program manager, more control. So you will be oversighting different projects until the result is going to be achieved. So it is good for benefit realization and for control. I want you to make careful to this picture. The program, as you can see, it have different projects. Also, it can have some sub-programs, like a mini program. Okay? But when we are talking about portfolios, you will see that in portfolios, there are operations. Okay? This is the difference. It's something extra. Under portfolio, you will see some operational activity. And what is the difference between operation and project, Ahsan?
Projects is just for like for the new thing, new construction or new development of any
What you are
of
trying
any
to say,
project.
it have an end day.
Is with the start and finishing end date. Yes,
Exactly.
with the specific end over, like we are saying, and the operation is I think that one is already built up. We are operating it.
Yeah.
Means
So in another word, it is a repetitive activities.
yes,
Operation.
it's a
Yeah.
repetitive.
Thank you, Ahsan. Thank you. So it is very important to understand that under program, there is no operation, but under portfolio, you will find some operational work. And I'll give you an example of portfolio. Portfolio, it is like a holding company. You will find that the holding company have different sub-entities under this company. Some of them are like they are running a factory that's already under the portfolio, under this head of holding company. The holding company itself, they are building new factory, or they are purchasing new investment in a certain country. Okay, and as well, they are having a program. This program, let us say, it is about banking and some venture capital. So they have a venture capital program. Okay, I'm just trying to explain to you how you can relate this to reality. Portfolio, you can think of holding company. Okay. So how the PMI actually, to answer the questions in the PMI, always you need to focus on the keyword. So the keyword in a project is individual, okay, and it have end and start date. This is your keyword. In program, how you will distinguish between program and portfolio? First of all, the projects here are related to each other. And why they are doing this? The purpose, benefits and control, for more benefits and control. Let us see here portfolio. The projects under portfolio, they are not related to each other. Again, think of a holding company. The holding company can have a marine, a logistic operation, and it can have the food and beverage factory, and they can have a new program of capital venture or venture capitals, right? And they are building a new tower in Jeddah, for example. So as you can see, each one of them are not linked to each other. So it is a portfolio. This is the main difference between them. And in the end, because it is not linked to each other, so they are not looking for benefit and control, but they are looking for achieving an objective. Let's say in this one is making more money. So their strategic objectives is to make more money. So the portfolio component will fulfill their strategic objectives. Is it clear, guys? This is a very important concept to understand.
Yes, very good.
Yeah. It seems very basic, but understanding the difference between them will help you to build up your project knowledge and then risk knowledge as well. Operation, you just need to understand it is a repetitive action or activities. So repetitive action like maintenance, it is core business function. Here, developing new product, moving, adding, changing, deleting. We agreed that it is the project is built on to create status change, implement new services or solution. Okay, what is the similarities between them? Of course, both of them both of them need manpower. Both of them have limited resources. Both of them designed in a style in a process style. Okay, everything everything have a life cycle. Okay, here what they're trying to say, we are as a human being have a life cycle. The same is going to be applied for the project. What is the life cycle of the project? They are giving you an example for a construction and IT. A construction, feasibility study, planning, designing, production, handover. So it is like initiation, planning stage, and then execution, monitor and control, closing. Okay, let us talk about the life cycle of an IT project. Requirements collection, designing, programming, testing, implementing, handover. So what they are trying here to say, it is also initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and evaluation and control. And lastly is the closing of the project. Okay, it have process group, the one that I was telling you, the called process group: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, control, closing. And it will be carried all over the project life cycle. Start, organization preparing, carrying out the project or the work, ending the project. So how many knowledge area you are going to apply on those process groups in the project management? 10 knowledge area. As you can see, between each phase, there's a gate. We call it phase gate or project phase. Here we are referring the line here, the box here is referring to the timeline. Okay. Right. Logically, when we start a project in the beginning, yeah, please tell me.
Like you showed the example of construction or IT. The
Exactly.
project, okay, uh,
Yeah.
here it comes from the design to the handover. But what we are having normally, these are also segregated into different projects because design is a project for some firms, and then again the execution is a project for a different company. Then
And
again
why they
another
are doing,
organization is going to take over for
yeah.
the handover and maintenance and operation and these things. So if we are clubbing this one, is it one project or multiple project?
Thank you for sharing this. Again, according to the complexity of the company and the organization management style, you will find that they are defining their groups, their projects into different groups, like your company. They are taking one project and cut it into several projects according to phases. In another companies, you will say that they will keep it as a one project, but with several phases. There is nothing like right or wrong.
Main contractor with the subcontractor.
It depends, as you said, Ahsan. It depends sometimes on the contract, the specialty of the project. Like for example, in a certain construction company, they have مثلا weakness in certain area, or they don't have enough manpower. So what will they going to do? Maybe they're going to cut off the project into several projects and will hand it to a sub contractor. Okay? In any project, in the beginning, the risk and the uncertainty, the risk and the uncertainty, along with the influence of the stakeholder, will be very high. The risk and the uncertainty in the beginning will be very high, and that's why we are going to have our risk register prepared as second or third document in the project. So once they started the execution of the project and they are reaching to the end of the project, you will see that the risk is going down. The risk effect is going down. Let me tell you something. If any, we are about 1 month to finish the project. Okay. What do you think is going to happen if any risk happen in this area? It will be the value of this concern or the impact of this concern on the project will be very low. Okay, I want you to understand this diagram very carefully. Okay, if we are in the beginning of any project, the cost of change, we are in the beginning. So logically, if we make any changes, is it going to be of a high impact regarding the money? Or high or low? You just started to do a project, and there is some changes. The cost of the changes will be very low. But if you are about to close the project, and you now, if you want to make any changes, the change will be high, very high. Why we are explaining these documents? Because we want to say that in reality, there's some projects of very flexible nature. Okay, and some new projects, especially the one that is not it is not, yeah, it is a new technology or something new that we are facing. So the risk here is very high. So from here, what is the proper solution for this issue, or not an issue? What is the proper alignment with this nature? Is to have the project to be run in a different style. That's why the new PIM book have included both agile and waterfall. So from the word agile, it means flexible. So in agile, what we are doing is cutting the project into small product. So, and how we build, how we process the work by having several iteration. By end of the iteration, we will have a mini product. This called minimal viable product, which is mean the minimum value that can be delivered to the client and he can use. So if there is a change, it will not happen in the end of the project. So the cost will be very low, and the risk of uncertainty will be decreased with time, because we are realizing the value of the project in early stage. Okay. In the waterfall, on the other hand, actually it is about straightforward management. Will we apply the life cycle, because we know already every aspect of the project. It is a very direct project. So we will plan it in the beginning, and we will execute it until we have the product in our hand in the end of the project, like a building. Okay. Building is a very conventional project. So we know everything. It is very common. We know everything from the beginning. The project manager is going to plan the project, and by the end, the client will receive the building. But let us say new application. In the beginning, they will cut it into different product, the minimal viable product. They will test it. They will check the experience, the user's experience. They will check the operation of it, and then they will do the second phase, the third phase, until they have the full tool, or for the full application ready to be used or launched by the full capacity. Do you have any question here?
No, it's good so far. Very good.
Tamam. Another very important elements that I want you to understand, because will be useful for our risk, is the understanding of the project constraints, which is mean what are the constraints? Scope, time, cost. Ahsan, can you tell me actually what is the reason that we have cost and scope and time constraints?
In the
Do you know what?
predictive life cycle,
Yeah.
in the predictive life cycle, because we already predicted, you told us, like in predictive cycle we are using, where we know what is the end product, and we already know what will be the result, and uh, we have the high risk for the cost
Yeah.
and the time and the cycle. So
Okay.
we are not going to change it like in the agile.
Mm.
We are We are again and again iterative progress, different stories, then reviewing, then giving feedback if there is changes. So
Okay.
here we have a constraint of the time, but in the agile, we have also the constraint of the time and the cost, but we
تمام.
can stop like where we, but here we have the specific time and the cost.
Okay. I see your point of view, Ahsan, but I want to tell you something, and this is to everyone. In both agile and waterfall, although the agile is more flexible, but the elements, scope, time, cost are managed. Although it is flexible, but again, it is managed. So if the scope here is like fixed one, here it will be, we have a scope with a specific range. Okay, it is not open. It is not like an open يعني open source. No, we have a limitation here. My question was why those three elements are the constraints. For example, why it is not the risk, although the risk is one part of the knowledge or area. Why it is not the procurement, for example. Okay, I'll answer this. If
Sorry,
you
could you repeat the question, please?
why in any projects we have the scope, the cost, the time as constraints.
Because the
Okay.
risk is also attached with the time and the cost. So these are the, I believe, like, I don't know, you will elaborate, explain it after that. But for my, if there is any scope creep, if there is any risk, if there is any procurement, all of these are related to the time and the cost.
You are right here. This is part of the answer. I want to tell you something about those elements. In any project, we will have something called baseline. We will have scope baseline and cost baseline and schedule baseline. And who's going to approve the baseline is a committee. Okay. And any changes after approving the baseline, the manager cannot the project manager cannot approve it without getting back to the change to the change committee. Okay, right, Ahsan? If you have any deviation in the cost, in the time, in the scope, and you want to make any changes, you will not approve it as a project manager without taking the formal acceptance or the formal approval for change, right? Through the committee, the board, the
Yep,
change.
you're right.
Yeah. So
Full board.
those what? Tell me.
Yep, you are right. I'm just saying it, change control board.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, as our colleague also said that, for example, the procurement will contribute to the budget, so it is calculated there. So whenever we have a baseline, we cannot do the changes. Whenever, if we have a baseline, any other baseline rather than those, for example, if the company is very concerned about the quality and they have a baseline for the quality, then this will be considered as a constraint. But mainly, we have three constraints: the scope, the time, and the cost. تمام? So the project manager, if there is any deviation from those constraints, he will not approve. The project manager, I'm telling again, the project manager will not approve it without getting back to the change control committee or change control board. Okay. تمام. Here again, it is a repetition. They are comparing between the predictive and the agile. Another thing, okay, for some project, we know that, for example, in the beginning, it is very straightforward. Phase one is very straightforward. This is an example. So we will apply the waterfall. In the next phase of the project, it might be a new project to my company. So my team is not well trained or well experienced, have the enough experience to finalize this stage. So I decided as a project manager, and I got the approval from the sponsorship, that I would run the second phase of the project on the agile concept. So having it on this style called the hybrid, which is the combination between the predictive and the agile. As you can see, we can apply it in the beginning of the project, and then we will apply the predictive on the next stage, or we will have it in parallel, or in some areas of the project. The majority of the project will be run under the predictive style or framework, and the some area will be managed as an agile project. In some project, we will run the whole project on the agile concept, and we will have some areas of the project run in the predictive style. Clear? طيب. Agile actually have elements, three elements. The ceremonies, they call it the ceremonies, the team, and the product. تمام? So how many team members we have in Agile? We have the product owner, the Agile team, and instead of the project manager, we will call him the Scrum Master. So the product owner, the Agile team, and the Scrum Master. Those are the team players. And then we will have the ceremonies. The ceremonies actually the events that occur in the Agile framework. The first one is the here should be an event of meeting with the product owner and the client and the team members. طيب. A sprint meeting. Okay. In Agile, we call this cycle sprint or iteration or agile cycle. تمام. What is going to be here is as a result product. تمام, guys? So the sprint actually should take from 1 to 4 weeks, not more than 4 weeks, from 1 to 4 weeks. And the end, we will have a minimal viable product. And what is this? How it will be built? So what is the result of accumulative outcome is the final product. Come on. So this is the sprint. This is the agile sprint or the iteration. Okay. So we have a sprint. Tell me.
Sorry. Is it
a
fixed as this sprint? Is it a fix that there should be always the 3 members?
Yeah, it is fixed. You should have someone called the project owner, the product owner, and you should have a scrum master, and the rest called the team of the agile. It should be
Okay.
this is how it should be structured. The team members can be of.
Then these two. Yes, please.
Yani
other than 2 members, every stakeholders is coming under the team.
Yes.
Whoever it is.
Everyone is under the team. Actually, Scrum Master. Actually, the word Scrum, it's coming from the rugby game, the American football. You know, when they do a cycle and they everyone is holding each other. This is called a Scrum in the rugby. From there, from this game they took the name. Everyone in the cycle actually are one team member. What is the difference between the predictive and the agile? In the predictive, we called project manager. Actually, it comes in a hierarchy. Like we have the project manager here, and then below him, for example, senior manager. Okay, and then below each one of them, like team members, there is a hierarchy, right? But in the Scrum, they are working as one group. Everyone has a role. Here, the instruction is coming from up to down. Here, everyone know what his role and what he or she deliver. But everyone will dictate what they will do. I will give you an example. The product owner is going to sit with the client or the sponsor, and he should understand the requirements, the features, the elements, and he should create a document called backlog. So again, what they are going to deliver, they are going to deliver minimal product, right? So the minimal, so for the team to deliver the minimal product, he need to understand very carefully the requirements of the client or the sponsor, and he will create the product backlog. Who will do what is the priority? Who will decide what is the priority? The product owner. So he will have like story one. They call it user story. He will have user story 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this backlog. He will give it then to the team in the sprint planning meeting, and every one of them, he or she will decide which user story he will work in, because they are self-organized team. This is the characteristic of the agile team. They are self-organized team. Everyone can do, they are interchangeable. The skills are interchangeable. It means that everyone can do the same job. So they will decide what is the duration, time, and what the user story that they will deliver, work on. But how they will deliver it, what is the priority, who's going to decide this? The product owner. Tamam. You say then, what is the Scrum Master role in this case? The Scrum Master actually, in this scenario, he is responsible for the removal of impediments. He is responsible for removing any obstacles facing the team. How he is going to do this? He will have an event ceremony called daily Scrum meeting. In the daily Scrum meetings, it is a 15 minutes happen every day in the morning. They will answer 3 questions. What have you done? What have you did? What are you going to do? What problem did you face? Everyone is going to answer this question. The meeting should not exceed 15 minutes. After the meeting, the Scrum Master going to sit with the team member that he have an issue in a one-to-one meeting, and then they will discuss the meeting in an elaborated way. They will apply all the skills that the project manager needs of problem solving and impediment removal. Okay. So after they finish the iteration, they will do a review. Okay. They call it in a meeting also, they will meet to do a review with the clients. Tamam? And then in a final stage, they will have a final ceremony called retrospective meeting. In the retrospective meeting, they will answer several questions, like what went well, what went wrong, what should not be done, and what can be enhanced. 4 questions. And the result of this meeting is going to be lesson learned. Okay. What is the benefit of it? They will use the lesson learned from this cycle to apply it in the next iteration. This is the concept in general. This is the concept of agile in general, guys. Do you have any question?
Regarding the meeting, every day 15 minutes. Is it
Every
possible
day,
in the
15 minutes.
enterprise?
Yeah.
In
And by the
enterprise?
way, yeah, I do it every day. In my company, I do it every day. I had an issue with some team members. Okay, this meeting actually is in front of each one. So what I do in the morning, I collect every project members, including the project manager, and I discuss with them what you did yesterday, what are you going to do today, What issue did you face? After we finished, I have a one-to-one meeting, or if we need someone else to be joining us, for example, the finance manager or the business analyst or whatever, we just or the office, the what do you call it? Astaghfirullah al-Azim, I forgot the name. And whatever is going to be involved in this meeting, if we need another person, we're going to assign him. I find this way is very, it is like a proof. This is the first one. The second thing, it is very short. So it is not time consuming. It is not exhausting. There is no waste in it. The person who have an issue, he will get a concentration with the involved party without wasting the time of other members. It is very useful, and I encourage everyone to apply it. You can apply it even in the predictive project. Tell me.
Okay.
So this is the concept of agile.
My question was actually realistically, when we are going for this one, if we are spending every day with the team, then
15
again
minutes.
each person is going to take 20 minutes each person. If there are a few person, let's say 3 persons having the problem, then it is going to take 1 hour just for this purpose. So every day, is it possible for the project manager to do this?
I apply it as I'm telling you. As a project manager, you're not going you're not going to meet with every single project team member, right? You will deal, for example, you have 3 persons reporting to you. You will meet in this project. You will meet with those persons, right?
Okay, I got your point. Now I got your point. Thank you.
Yeah.
It is
Welcome.
only the concern who is actually taking charge and
Yeah.
review. That's
It
mean
is
the only
very
person. You don't
useful.
need to communicate with everyone in the
Yeah.
team. Okay.
Yeah, it is very useful. And remember, one of the colleagues, I think Salim, you were telling us that another project manager is causing me problems, right? Why I should tolerate this? By the way, having this style of meetings even will reduce the risk of having non-responsible project managers, because this meeting actually it shows a very clarity. It will يعني emphasis on the clarity and the communication in the projects. So it will be very obvious and clear to each one. تمام. So when you are trying to manage risk, you will put in your mind, I'm dealing with an agile project or I'm dealing with a predictive project. So it will make it easier for you to يعني when you are analyzing, you will take in consideration the type of project that you are dealing with. Are you dealing with hybrid? Are you dealing with agile? Are you dealing with predictive? طيب. كمان, what else? It will help you to understand, are you dealing with a risk on project level, or are you dealing with a risk on program level? Are you dealing with a risk on a portfolio level? Or you are a person from the enterprise and you are dealing and you are the governance control in this area or in this position. That's why I said it is nice to have a sight into the PMP. طيب. Here what they are trying to say, that project can be take a consequential happen in a consequential style, and sometimes some part of the projects can overlap. And when you're talking about objective of organization of an organization, also you'll see that the organization will start the project sometimes in a sequential manner, and sometimes in an overlapping style. Let us think of a company of organization that is focusing on the beverage, food and beverage section. So they have, for example, a beverage line. Let's say Pepsi. So in their mega plan, they have uh, a packing and filling project as a next stage. If they have the capacity, I'm talking about the budget or the cost, maybe it can be a factor. They will do it in overlapping style. If for example, if they are not sure their business is going to be successful, they will do it in a sequential style. Okay. Another concept is the phase gate. Okay. After we finish the phase, for example, we said there is initiation, planning, etc. Let's say that in another project we call it foundation, then مثلا upper planning, foundation, upper construction. Different phase, different scenario. طيب. What from the name? Who can read? Who's with us except of Salim and Ahsan? Salim, Ahsan, Julian.
Julian and Yasser.
Yeah.
Yes.
Julian and Muhammad also is here. Who can read? Julian, Muhammad, can you please read the phase gate names?
Phase gate names starting
From
the
here.
process. Okay.
From here.
Yeah, continue to the next phase. Continue to
Those
the
one.
next phase with notification.
Yeah, sorry, those one.
Yeah, this one, right? A phase review, stage gate, kill point, phase entry, and phase exit.
Yeah, so stay with me. So as you can see, they named the phases gate according to the phase. Phase exit. As the word, it indicates that they are in which stage?
Ending the project, yeah.
Exactly, closing the project. So
closing the project.
Yeah, so here will be a checkpoint. It is a checkpoint that they will say that we have, for example, several items that is delivered and the project is considered now complete. طيب, let's say that one item is not here, is missing. So it means that we need to make sure that all the activities is carried out in the proper way, and we will repeat this stage. That's why they call it, for example, here, review phase. So each one of them is a review, have a review, a review essence. Each gate have a review essence. تمام? So they name it by the end of the phase. Here they are naming it by the start of the phase. So we can say that starting the project, organization, and preparing, carrying out. So let's say here starting the project, we can call it starting the project phase, or we can call it closing the project phase. Okay. So please continue reading. A decision. So here in the phase, there is a decision to be done, taken, which is go complete to the next stage, or stay in the same phase, or close the phase. Repeat from the beginning, for example. So a decision need to be taken in each gate. Please, can you continue reading here?
Continue to the next phase. Continue to the next phase with modification. End the project. Remain in the phase, or repeat the phase, or event of it. Elements of it.
Okay. What they're trying to say here, guys, that when we are checking and reviewing our work, how we are going to which, what are the reference here? The reference is going to be the business case, the project charter, the project management plan, the benefit management plan. Ahsan, can you stay with me now? Can you tell me what is the difference between the project business case and the benefit management plan? This is a question exam, Ahsan.
Yes, business case is telling us the detail just for the project. Only what are the uh, your project feasibility, like you can say the cost,
Yeah.
stakeholders, and these things. The benefit
So
management plan is
so the
how much
the
the
the pr- so the project business case concern about the financial aspect of the project.
and the benefit management plan, how much the benefit we are going to get it after the completion of that product or the project.
Exactly. Not only that, also the KPIs that we are going to manage those benefits, and when we are going to realize this benefits. تمام? The project charter, it is like the birth certificate of the project. The birth certificate of the project. تمام? Consider it as the birth and keep this in mind. It is the birth certificate of the project. So it will say that, for example, I'm Insaf, female, 40 years old. So whenever there is a comparison in Insaf, they will check the certificate and they will say, yeah, she's a female. Okay, she's her name is Insaf Ibrahim. Okay, she's like 40 years old, and so on. So they will compare. Like I'm in the airport, I'm giving them my passport. They will check the photo, the names, and everything. Okay, you will consider the project charter as the birth certificate. I will explain it to you more in more details. The project management plan, it is actually what is mentioned here in a very short term. It will be described here in a very lengthy way. So it is like a passport or a birth certificate, and here it is like a CV or profile, just to relate it to your mind. So whenever you are achieving a product or completing a stage, you will get back to those documents. This is your reference. تمام. Process management group, and project management knowledge area. Okay. So guys, how the project management is designed. We agreed that we need to apply different items, so we can call that we are managing our project. Remember, skills, techniques, tools, knowledge, right? So in each step, we will say that we have input, we will apply tools and technique, so we will get the result. Think of juice maker. The juice maker machine is your tools and technique. The inputs is the fruits. The output is the juice. We agreed that we have 5 process group, right? Initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, closing. So in the initiation stage, what documents that you get, Ahsan?
um uh, Project charter and
Thank you.
stakeholder.
Yeah, thank you.
uh,
Project charter and a stakeholder register. And who's responsible for the project charter?
Project
Is it?
charter is actually approved by the sponsor, and they are the one who is approving that one
And he is
to
the
the
one
project
yeah,
who is
not only that,
creating
and he is responsible for creating the project charter. Who's going to be assigned and announced as a project in these documents? Who's going to assign the project manager?
who is going to assign as a project manager. The
The
project
sponsor.
manager is assigned
Yeah,
by
the
the
sponsor.
sponsor. Yes, the
Yeah, the
sponsor.
sponsor.
It's
And
mentioned in the
after,
charter.
yeah, and after that, The project manager is going to be responsible for the rest of the processes. But in the initiation for the project, we will get a project charter, and we will have the project manager to be assigned, and the project itself to be announced to see the light, right? طيب, pre the initiation أحسن. Stay with me برضو. What is going to be prepared if we have a pre the initiation? What we will have here?
Business case.
Business case. Bravo. What else?
Benefit. What we call it?
Benefit plan. You're right.
Plan. Yeah.
Yeah, benefit plan. You're right. You're ready for the exam, mashallah.
Thank you.
طيب. Time. Project management knowledge area. Project management knowledge area, this is the old style of the PIM book prior the modification in 2021, as I recall. We have different knowledge area, which is the scope management, the quality management, the scope management, integration management, schedule management, cost management, quality management, risk management, communication management, resource management, project procurement management, stakeholder. Prior to 2022 or 2021, the PMI organized the PIM book according to the knowledge area. Okay? And then because of the they want to cope with the project's requirements and to be very realistic, they decided this is not the right way to organize or to structure our PIM book. So what they did, they categorized it into 3 groups: the domain of people, domain of process, and the environment. Below each one of them, you will find that the management, the knowledge area actually is broken down to be part of the domain, people domain, part of the process domain, and part of the business environment. تمام? So what is the purpose of the domain? The domain actually is the high level knowledge, people, process, and environment. How will you manage to achieve the domain? By doing some task. So it is the responsibilities of the project manager under each domain. So this is the task of the project manager. What are the enablers that is going to enable the project manager to achieve the task? Called the enablers. So domains as what you should know, task, what you should do, enablers, how to do this task, basically. طيب. It is good to understand that there is a management of the data. The management of the data, actually, it is like that. We will have data from the work performance. We will take this data, apply some modification on the data or apply some tools. So we will have information. After the information, another modification will happen. So we will have report. Think of data in Excel sheet. You will collect the data in the Excel sheet. Then you will apply some measurements or equation to have it to have information. Last stage, you want to have performance report. So what you are going to do, you will apply the information here into the Power BI. صح? So this is just an example. طيب, let us think of the risk. How you will apply this? You will get information regarding a risk. Maybe they will fill the risk trigger here. and what are the measurements that they depend on it. You will do the measurements, so you will have information. Well, how you going to deliver it to the managers or whatever is going to look at it according to the nature of the job. You will put مثلا figures. مثلا we reached to a threshold of kaza. The threshold have been reached, and now we need to take action. The cost of the action is $1. The non-action responses will cost us, for example, $5, and so on. This is the flow of the data. Type. A very important terminology that you need to understand when we are talking about project and risk management is tailoring. It means that each project have his own characteristic. So you need to optimize or to tailor your process. You need to optimize and tailor the practices, the techniques, the procedure. And before, you need to choose the right methodology, predictive, agile, etc. Right. There is items that affecting or factors that affecting or impacting the project. We call it enterprise environmental factor, or OPAs, EAF and OPAs, and organizational system. Right. Both of them are going to influence the project. OPAs, it's actually related to the project asset, the organization asset, okay? EEF stands for Enterprise Environmental Factor. So this is EEFs originate from outside the project and often outside the enterprise. OPAs are created for projects and by experience. They are trying to say that it's mostly are internal. Organizational system play a significant role in the cycle of the project. For example, what type of system the company is using. Okay? So those two are internal, and this one is external. Right. Enterprise environmental factor, they are telling us there's external and internal factors. Mostly they are external, but sometimes you can find it internal. You can find some internal factors. Internal organizational process, okay, OPAs stand for organizational process asset. What is falling under this section, actually under the OPAs, is the processes, the template, the procedures, everything that is you are as an employee use in your organization. Okay, what is the other thing is the corporate knowledge base, which is mean lesson learned. Right. Example of internal factors, EAF, internal to the organization: the culture, the structure, employee capability, resource availability, information technology software, geographic distribution of facilities and resources, infrastructure. Example of external: marketplace condition, physical environmental elements, financial considerations, government or industry standard, commercial database, social and cultural influence and issues, legal restructuring. OPAs, we agreed. It is the process, policies, procedure, templates, and the lesson learned. طيب. Last concept about the project, or the project, yes, the projects. We need to understand how the organizations are structured. Some type of organization are, and mostly they are, functional organization. Once you enter any company, you will find that they have a financial department, a quality department, etc. with the function. So the category depending on the function. Some companies, they have it under projectized style. especially OPMs. You will find that مثلا marine department, marine construction department, oil and gas construction department, etc. So they are categorized depending on the project. The last one is the matrix one. So they are a mix. So since it is a matrix, we need to understand there is a weak, moderate, strong matrix. Why we are studying this concept? Because we know how this style or structure is affecting our projects. Right. We agreed that the functional are organized in a style depending on the function, operation, finance, كذا. And each one of them, there is a manager and employees, okay, or staff. So if there is any project here or here, extra project here, it will be done as a general project. طيب. Who's going to be responsible for the project? The project coordinator. تمام. The project coordinator, he might be a part of the finance team. Let us say that when the in Saudi Arabia, when the taxation was applied, they held it in the beginning as a project. So there was a person responsible for this project. So he was, in the end of the day, he was reporting to the finance department manager. So his role was a project coordinator, despite he was the project manager in this case. So why it is important to understand this, to understand how this is affecting our project. So he is reporting to the functional manager. The project manager authority is very little or no. He's reporting to the department head. The resource availability, little or none. He need to get approval from the finance manager. So his role is project coordinator. He do it beside other tasks that he is responsible for it as a staff member of the finance department. So his role is as a project coordinator is executed as a part-time. The functional manager managed the project budget, of course. Here, when we are talking about project organization, each project manager is responsible for his project, and he have resources, and he is important. The staff is reporting to the project manager, and he have access to the resources of the project. Once the project is completed, he will dismiss the team members to another project. So this is which one of them is the strongest supporting the projects as when it comes to management style? This is a question. Which one of them is supporting, is good for the project?
Matrix.
This is based on the project. So which one of them is going to support the project?
Projectized.
Yeah, projectized. After the projectized, the second good option for project is the matrix organization. And to be specific, the strong matrix organization. The power here will be to the project manager. In the balanced one, the power is shared between the project manager and the functional manager. Who's going to win in your opinion? Ahsan, who's going to win? Who's going to have the upper authority if it is even balanced? We are talking about human. Who is going to be shown and his word is listened?
Project manager.
If he or the project or the functional manager, but who is going to, let's say it is a competition and someone of them is going to win. Who's going to win?
Actually, if I'm the one, I will go for the project manager. But most of the cases, the functional managers, they are prioritizing it.
Okay, I'll tell you, they both of them have the same authority. The one who's going to shine in this case, the one who have emotional intelligence. The one who have extra or higher managerial skills. Remember when we said that we have skills, and the skills always related to the project manager skill and the team skill, right? The person who
Yes.
have the person with the higher emotional intelligence, he will win in this situation. Type in weak matrix, power with functional manager and project manager will work as a coordinator and expeditor. I'll tell you a good example of this. Mostly, who is working as a project coordinator? Executives, executive assistant. Executive assistant, they have running different projects, for example, because they are working with the C levels as a project expeditor or coordinator. تمام? There's a difference between the expeditor and the coordinator. The coordinator has some power. The expeditor only communicate. تمام? Now I want you to focus with me on the concept of the PMO. Remember, in our last session, we were talking about the risk, how it is interrelating to each framework within the hierarchy of the enterprise. I will tell you why it is important to understand the PMO office. The PMO office sometimes can be internal and sometimes can be external. Internal with the organization, they have a PMO office. And in some cases, the PMO office can be a sole company or an office that are working as a consultant. تمام? Let us understand what is the type of the PMO. It can be supportive, controlling, directive. طيب. Supportive from the name. From the name, support. So it is a consultant only. So what is the role of the consultant? Is to give you template, best practices, study, access to information, lesson learned. طيب. The higher level is controlling. Controlling, it means that they will give you the previous activity plus audit. So after you finish the work, with their suggest, what they are going to do, they come to check if you are that the work is in compliance with the plan. تمام? They will not execute, they will not manage, they only give you the supportive document and then they will check. They call it controlling. The last one is the directive. The directive, actually, they will control everything. Okay, so they will manage directly the project and they will assign even the project manager. Yeah? So remember when we were talking about risk, we said that the project manager is not going to tell us what is the plan that he is going to use. He's not going to perform the policies and he will not form the policies. Remember yesterday we were talking about this organizational governance committee. We said that this committee is responsible for creating the risk SOPs and setting the SOPs and procedures, and also for the approval. And they are responsible for enforcing the risk appetite and the risk management approach. Remember that? So mostly this is a governance work. So the PMO is a governance entity. So the PMO can be on the external entity, can be external suppliers like a consultant, or it can be part of the company. part of the enterprise management. Okay, so they will have, like, for example, we have a holding company, okay, and we have the higher management, the board of this company. In the board of this company, we will have the risk committee. We will have the audit committee. All right, we will have the investment committee. I'm giving you an example from reality. So the risk committee is going to be responsible for creating the company appetite according to the vision and the mission, and to be very sure that everyone within the organization hierarchy or within the organization framework is going to use and align with those strategies and appetite. Okay? You have any question? Guys,